Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Sally Limis. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. The upcoming budget revision is expected to exclude ARPA funds. Also tonight, 35 children avail of free dental services. And the Guam National Guard recruits 2 more Saipan-raised sons. In sports, nothing is hard to learn if you want it, says this young star. Stay with us, we have these stories and more up next.
What's the move?
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich, you'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Half a day to the Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Friday, February 3rd, 2023. The Sinamay government was given 4 years to spend funds from the American Rescue Plan Act, also known as ARPA. But with the current financial state, it looks like it's been spent in just 2 years. Upcoming budget may not include any more federal funds. The Fiscal Response Team aims to submit a budget revision for fiscal year 2023 by next week. According to the Office of Management and Budget Special Assistant Virginia Villagomez, the revision will exclude all ARPA-related funding.
Basically, that meeting is just to remove the 20% ARPA or everything ARPA-related and Public Law 22-22. So that is the goal that we have, working hard with our group, and that we look forward to, that budget revision.
Upon reviewing the government's financial accounts and identifying that the NMI is in a dire fiscal crisis, Governor Arnold Palacios and Lieutenant Governor David Apatang created a team tasked to reconcile all ARPA expenditures, reimbursements, and find ways to get the finances back on track.
And likely there's going to be cost containment measures that have to take place in order for this government to be able to sustain itself.
Currently, the fiscal budget allots more than $109 million for government operations, plus $36 million from ARPA funds for personnel costs. The Finance Department Transition Reports identifies an $86 million deficit in ARPA funds, while the FY22 Annual Report shows general fund expenditures exceeding allotments, causing a $37.8 million deficit. Governor Palacios says their end game is to move fast in getting a revised budget.
The Lieutenant Governor and I have decided that it's no longer continues to be urgent for us to keep coming out in public and saying how bad things are. I believe people know, we're pretty clear I've been very clear how bad things are, and we don't need to continue that discussion. Right now, we're looking at how we're going to address it to keep this government afloat and address the 2024 budget submission, which is mandated that we submit by May 1. And so we're working very hard to do that.
Palacios adds they are also looking deeper into why and how the finances got into its current state.
What happened, why it happened, and what we need to do to hopefully recover some of that cost. Some of the transition reports and the reports that have come out have been submitted to the Office of the Public Auditor and the Office of the Attorney General. So they're also doing their part.
One of the administration's cabinet picks is a former Democratic candidate who ran against them in the general election. Let's take a look. Layla Staffler has been appointed as Secretary for the CNMI Department of Labor. Staffler ran with Tina Sablon in the gubernatorial election last November, later endorsing Palacios Apatang in the runoff. Governor Palacios and Lieutenant Governor Apatang announced her appointment on Wednesday, along with Senior Policy Advisor Tina Sablon and the rest of the cabinet.
I am really excited to serve with this team. There's an amazing group of professional and talented individuals at this table who are ready to serve and see how we can help our community move forward in this really tough situation. I know that each of us have a lot of solutions and innovative ways that we can look at the problems ahead and find solutions for all that can bring us to a harmony that we all need and deserve.
Staffler began her career in the CNMI education system as a teacher for 10 years and an administrator for another 10 years. Her mission was to prepare the CNMI youth for the endgame of joining the workforce. Now, as Labor Secretary, she is able to work directly with them on the other side, continuing the critical work of workforce development.
At the Department of Labor, we do have employment services, and we encourage the community to come and register. We provide training and opportunities so that people can skill up in their abilities so that they can find their pathway to workforce involvement that will make them maybe earn more than they're at right now. And so it just takes the step of coming and registering.
Staffler states when contracts of the first batch of ARPA-funded personnel were exhausted, the Labor Department did not see an increase of enrollments in the current programs.
This is my first call out to encourage community members. If you are looking for work or looking to get access to training, start at the Department of Labor, come to Employment Services and see what you can register for. WIOA also is looking for more participants, and all of these provide training opportunities so that you can earn more skills, get skills that will make you have a higher earning potential in the long run.
Staffler would also like to work with the NMI's educational institutions, such as NMTech, NMC, and PSS.
I'll be meeting with them in the next couple of days to collaborate on how we can make sure that all of these resources for training are available to our community, because we need you to join us in building our economy back, especially in the private sector.
Staffler's appointment requires Senate approval from the Executive Appointments and Government Investigations Committee. It's no secret that sweets and junk food are not good for your health. And for young kids, it can rot your teeth. A local dental clinic reaches out to kids who don't have insurance for some cleaning and filling. It's called Give Kids a Smile, a one-day event for free dental services to youngsters without insurance. The Saipan Seventh-day Adventist Dental Clinic welcomed dozens of children and teens this morning. According to Dr. Anna Lee, a general dentist at SDA, the Give Kids a Smile is one of their annual events.
And it's actually an event that was created by the American Dental Association. And this is a annual event worldwide, actually nationwide in the US, where a lot of clinics participate on February 3rd to give free dental care to children who don't have any dental insurance or in impoverished areas. So for us, we like to focus on providing dental care, fillings, extractions, and cleanings.
Dr. Lee says it's important for children to maintain dental health to elude infections and dental pain. Having a good diet is something that can also help children avoid those.
And something that I see here more is that a lot of children, they have diet habits that are not so great. And so they'll eat a lot of snacks and chips and candy, things like that. And they have cavities everywhere. Yeah, not just in one or two spots in the mouth, but pretty much everywhere. Yeah, especially those who don't have insurance. And they'll come in with broken teeth. They'll come in with teeth that are badly infected. So that's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that the cavity goes to that extent and it's left to that extent. So I would really love to see more of like a preventative approach on the island, and having, the moms and the dads, and not just the moms and the dads, but whoever takes care of them during the day while the parents are at work, having them understand how to take better care of the teeth and how to do, preventative diets more.
Francisco Diesta is a dental therapist who works closely with children who come in for dental services. One of his tasks is to keep children at calm.
Kids, when they go to the clinic, whatever clinic is, they always think of getting shot and they will get hurt. So in order for them to at least try to deviate that, try to take that anxiousness or stress in their, when they feel like being threatened or something like that when they go to this office.
And it works. One kid who visited the office for a tour tells us what he learned.
They teach me how to brush my teeth, how to floss, and how to keep your teeth clean in them.
Why do you think it's important to brush your teeth and to floss?
So you don't have bad breath and like yellow teeth and cavities.
His message to other kids:
always brush your teeth like at least 2 times a day. Always floss and brush your tongue. And don't eat a lot of sweets.
2 sons of Saipan enlist into the Guam Army National Guard.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend.
That I will support and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies.
Against all enemies.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith.
That I will bear true faith.
And allegiance to the same.
And allegiance to the same.
And that I will obey the orders.
And that I will obey the orders.
Of the President of the United States.
Of the President of the United States.
And the Governor of Guam.
And the Governor of Guam.
And the orders of the officers appointed over me.
And the orders of the officers appointed over me.
According to law and regulations.
According to law and regulations.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Whoa!
Jose Quitano and Vincent Titano took their oath of enlistment into the Guam Army National Guard. The 2 individuals are both sons of Saipan. Quitano is currently a transit operator at the Commonwealth Office of Transit Authority.
I decided to join the National Guard because I've always wanted to join the military ever since I was young. So the only person in my family that has been in the military was my great-grandpa, but unfortunately he passed a long time ago. So now I feel like it's my turn to join, and I was also named after him, so that was like my motivation to join.
Quitano will be assigned in 11 Bravo, which is infantry. He is scheduled to ship out on the 13th of this month.
I'm excited, but I'm also I'm already used to it because I've also been training back home here with the RSP group from Guam and Saipan. So they're just preparing me to go out, so I think I'm ready.
Titano, who is an employee at the Sinamai Board of Parole, shares his sentiment as a new soldier.
It's a really overwhelming sensation, but I just love the fact that it's something new for me.
learning that I can grow into better things.
And his reason for joining the National Guard?
My daughter, every day, all day, who and I forever will live for.
The oath taking was officiated by General Major Esther Agigi. According to Agigi, the two individuals will now head to a 6-week basic military training where they will learn how to shoot, move, and communicate. The CNMI does not have its own National Guard, but the partnership with Guam remains solid.
Just like Mayor Camacho said, we want to provide opportunities for those who don't have very many opportunities to have jobs in the business community, right? But then, we want to open up the possibility of having a military career. That will lead to a retirement, that will lead to economic prosperity, that will lead to family stability, and we want that. We want that for the next greatest generation.
The event took place over the weekend at the San Vicente Community Park, which the Guam National Guard has recently adopted. The Commonwealth Utilities Corporation announces the fuel adjustment charge will remain the same. Current FAC rate, which is 27 cents per kilowatt hour, will remain the same for the month of February. Just recently, CNMI motorists saw an increase in gas prices, which is now $5.31 for a regular gallon of gas. CUC states, although there is a slight increase in the MOPS pricing, the increase did not equal or exceed a 4.5% differential of the average per gallon cost of fuel. For further information, you can call 670-664-4282. All right, coming up, we meet a local beauty queen from the island of Tinian. Stay tuned.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month, plus a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Milan Goodwin takes to Cambridge, Massachusetts for an exclusive interview with a pageant competitor originally from the island of Tinian.
Hi, my name is Isa Haani Long. I'm originally from Tinian within the Northern Marianas, but now I'm at Harvard studying here in Massachusetts.
Throughout this month, Issa's been participating in the Miss Teen Massachusetts pageant, which she's been able to use as a platform to share her voice.
So basically, Miss Teen Massachusetts USA is a state pageant in which you can qualify nationally to represent the entire U.S. And yeah, I decided to join because I believed in what I wanted to advocate for, which is quality healthcare and nutrition. And I wanted to represent my roots and my culture, so that is why I decided to join.
There are different layers to the pageant. First, the teens must make it through the preliminary round, which includes an activewear and evening gown portion. The girls like Issa who make it past that round proceed to the finals, where they continue with an interview portion.
So during prelims, they pick the top 15, and then Sunday morning they have interviews. So I was able to be picked for top 15, and so I competed in finals. And then after the fact, they announced awards, and I was able to receive the People's Choice Award, which was honestly really honoring. And mean, I'm really honored, and I just want to thank all my friends and family, everyone from the Marianas who voted for me. Just such amazing support.
While this may have been Issa's first pageant, as a bodybuilder, the stage is not new for her.
It was my first pageant, but I have competed on stage before in a bodybuilding competition. So I'm really into healthcare and nutrition, and I competed in Cali prior to being in college, and I'm now a certified personal trainer who works at HealthWorks Cambridge, which is like 8 minutes from here, and I get to teach women about their health and simple mobility moves so that they can move better when they're older. And yeah, so I'm one of the trainers there, and it's been pretty cool.
While bodybuilding may have prepared Issa for the pageant, she still found significant differences between the bodybuilding and pageant world.
So I think that they're very different. Bodybuilding, you definitely have to prepare like for a really, really long time. Even off season, you're still working hard, building muscle. For the older girls within Miss Mass, I'm pretty sure they do go through some training, to keep their physique up and running for a swim. I think bodybuilding just is a lot more discipline, a lot more challenging, but in a sense, they both have their pros. Like they're both very good on promoting confidence, stage presence also. And then I guess with pageants, you're able to share more of who you are and your personality, what's on the inside. And then you ultimately get to advocate for what you believe in.
Issa is now preparing for bodybuilding shows this summer and even after graduating Harvard University. But upon reflecting her experience in the Miss Teen Massachusetts pageant, is grateful for the support back here in the Marianas.
I just want to say thank you to everyone and anyone who voted for me for People's Choice. That was honestly such an accomplishment on my end, on my home's end, like to just get recognition and to be put on the map. That was I was just so grateful and honored to be given the opportunity and the support. And I could not have been on that stage if it weren't for everyone back home, because confidence was key, and they definitely gave me confidence and support. So I'm very, very grateful.
Milan Goodwin, reporting for the Channel 2 News.
A new book drops tonight, and the author is in the studio with our Chris Nelson.
We are launching the book on Friday, February 3rd at the NMI Museum, History Museum. And then on the following Saturday, on the 4th, we have a Meet the Authors event, which is open to the public, which I hope everybody just comes and mobs it. It would be great. We'd love to see a bunch of people, love to hear questions from people. You can certainly pick the book up at both of those events.
Yanni Burrell is an assistant professor at NMC. He teaches speech communication, Pacific literature, and English. He also speaks German fluently and tried to put together a book that will appeal to people from a range of ages.
We really made a big effort when we were editing the book, when we were working with contributors, to allow the ideas to stay complex and sophisticated, but make the language more accessible.
A Marianas Mosaic examines some of the big shifts that are happening in the region.
There's quite a few shifts, obviously. There are concerns about cultural loss on the part of the indigenous peoples of the Marianas. Whether that's language, right? Language loss, whether that's certain traditional customs or practices. So there is that shift happening, but also amazingly, and what I think beautifully, there's also efforts to reclaim those cultural aspects. There's efforts to sort of stop the loss of those cultural aspects. So that's certainly a shift that's happening, and that's sort of like a shift back and forth, right? A push and pull.
Other shifts include changes in the demographics and political status questions.
We wanted to take a sort of pan-Marianas approach, and so there are about half of the selections are either from authors that reside in Guam or call Guam home or are speaking about dynamics in Guam. And then about half of the selections are from authors that are either from the CNMI or writing about the Marianas, about the CNMI, and then some of them are writing about both.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We have sports up next.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Freshness. It's the overall reason beer drinkers choose draft beer. And that's the reason Godfather's is making a serious commitment to offering their customers a full lineup of draft beer on tap. Choose from Lagunitas IPA, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, Lost Coast Downtown Brown Ale, Fat Tire, Blue Moon, and more. All competitively priced. Godfather's Bar now serving the island's widest selection of ice cold beer right from the tap. Godfather's Bar, where everybody's family.
The Tan Su Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
Our young star for this evening is another weightlifter who has quickly picked up the sport. Here's Milan Goodwin with more.
The question isn't who's gonna let me, it's who's going to stop me. A quote from Ayn Rand.
Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
Our young star this evening is a 12-year-old weightlifter who's made great strides despite only recently starting the sport.
My name is Aiden Yamed and I'm in the 6th grade and I go to FMS Middle School.
Okay, and what sport do you do?
I do weightlifting.
Aiden started weightlifting just 4 months ago. His coach tells us that despite his age, he's been able to learn different forms and techniques quicker than anyone he's trained before. This may be because it runs in the family. Can you talk a little bit about your uncle?
He represented Palau. He played in the Pacific Mini Games.
Not only did Aiden's uncle compete for Palau in the Pacific Mini Games, but Aiden trains alongside his cousin Jaden, our young star last week. Like his cousin, Aiden also competed in January for the Sinamai weightlifting qualifier.
I just figured out I want to try something new, something different from the other sports I tried.
After weightlifting in his first ever competition, Aiden hopes to continue competing and one day travel for weightlifting.
So doing weightlifting, I really want to try going around the world, seeing new places and try and do weightlifting there.
And here's Aiden's advice to other young athletes out there.
Push yourself to be better in a young age so when you're an adult, you're already good at it.
Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
What's the move?
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to be going over the leg press. Now I have here with me is Vince, and he's going to show you how to execute it properly in 2 different ways. A common mistake that you'll often see is leaving your hands free, either up here or on your lap. I strongly recommend you holding onto the sled and create that tension in the upper body, which then allows you to create more range of motion. So with his current foot placement, he was feeling it on his legs, his quads. Now with a simple adjustment by placing his foot a little higher on the platform and his toes pointed out slightly, he's going to transfer that tension, which was previously on his legs, onto his hamstrings and glutes. Again, he's gonna grab onto the sled, creating that bracing effect up here.
And for your KSPN weather report, partly sunny with isolated showers, east-northeast wind around 21 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 28 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy with isolated showers, east wind 17 to 21 miles per hour, with the gusts up to 26 miles per hour, high 86, low 76. Humidity is at 79%. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with isolated showers, east-northeast wind around 18 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 24 miles per hour, high 86, low 78. High risk of rip current statement is dangerous rip currents on the east-facing reefs of the Marianas through Tuesday afternoon. Rip currents can sweep even the best swimmers away from shore into deeper water. And in the marine forecast, small craft advisory remains in effect. East winds 15 to 20 knots with occasional gusts up to 25 knots and seas 7 to 10 feet in the Marianas coastal waters until 5 p.m. Sunday. These conditions will be hazardous to small crafts. Inexperienced mariners, especially those operating the smaller vessels, you should avoid boating in hazardous conditions. The sunrise will be at 6:45 a.m., low high tide at 5:21 p.m., low tide 1 p.m., and the sunset getting earlier, 6:15 p.m. And that wraps up your Friday edition of the news, sports, and weather here in the Marianas. As always, thank you so much for watching the Channel 2 News. We hope you have a great night and a great weekend. We'll see you back on Monday with more.